So today I want to do a brief little ramble about quality, because I am 100% convinced that quality is subjective. So I'd like to explain and give some examples. So if you think about in film, there are films that came out 20, 30 years ago that at the time it was the cutting edge, top of the line like special effects. And it was absolutely amazing, and people were like, their minds were blown of like, wow, this looks so real. How did they do it? It's incredible. But if you look back on it now, compared to the special effects we have available now, it's like, what is this garbage? This is trash. Maybe the story's still good, but the special effects, it's like, oh, what is that? You know, but at the time it was amazing. So the quality changed, but the content itself did not. Another example, videos that I've made myself. When I made them, I thought it was the greatest thing I'd ever made. Not even a week later, I look back on it and it's like, oh, I don't like this. Oh, I should have done that different, and I should have changed that different, and I should have done this like that. And you know, you critique it, and you're your own biggest critic. So again, the content itself did not change. Just my perspective on it. So quality is subjective. If we go outside of the realm of video, let's say manufacturing, let's say automotive, a car from the 1940s, when it came out in the 1940s, top of the line car, the most expensive car, and everyone's like, wow, you got that? That's a really nice car. But now it's like, well, what is this old garbage? I want the new stuff. I want heated seats and leather and power sliding doors and a sunroof and all-wheel drive and did I say heated seats and Bluetooth? You know, stuff like that. So the car itself hasn't changed at all, just our expectations. So I know it sounds very cliche, but I genuinely think that. Wait, no, hold on. I jumped into the wrong. I jumped to the wrong part of my thought process here. Well, let me redo that. So that actually oddly works in very well with what I was going to say next too, is the number one thing that stopped me from making videos for the majority of my life is I always had a sense of this video isn't good enough. And so then that's where I go to the part that I was jumping to is, I know it sounds kind of cliche, but you have to ask the question, good enough for who? Because if it's not good enough for me, then what do I gotta do to make it better? Or can I just accept that that's the best that I can do? Because maybe for someone who hasn't considered this video could be amazing. It could be great, and it would like give them a new revelation. But for me, this could be like, oh, this is a lame video. It's just me talking again. But they could be like, oh, maybe the lighting is good, or maybe the camera quality is good, or whatever, versus a camera from 12 years ago. You know, it's all about perspective of what you're expecting. And so as someone who really wants to make really great videos, this is what I would consider to be a very low quality video. But yeah, 10 years ago, this would have been an amazing video for me to make. There's no way 10 years ago I would have had all this sound foam and this really cool light fixture and this really cool camera and had this sort of thought process. 10 years ago, if I could tell this to me back then, like, it would blow my mind. And so 10 years ago, this video would have been amazing. But now I consider it to be like just another talking video. I want to make better content. I want to work on bigger projects, but I just haven't been able to because I've been spending time at work. But I really, really want to stick with my daily upload schedule, and so I have to just kind of accept that this is good enough, because it could be great for someone else. And yeah, like I said, it's asking the question of good enough for who? Is this video not good enough for me? Am I not content with it? Why? Because I have high expectations? If this is the best that I can do at this moment, then so be it. And then I just need to lower my expectations a little bit and raise my ambitions. Or yeah, make my expectations my ambitions instead of my expectations, and just expect this, because this is the best I can do right now. I think I said everything I want to say. So yeah, and I didn't want to talk too much about the realm of perfectionism, because that's also, of course, very related to this, but there's nothing, I don't currently have anything new to say about that, that other people haven't already said. I guess I could briefly say one perspective on perfectionism that has really helped me, that I did not come up with the idea, but spreading it more could be good, is the idea that perfectionism is really just insecurity. It's me thinking that my content isn't good enough. I'm insecure about the quality of content that I'm able to produce. And so rather than facing that head on and just putting this out anyway and posting this video anyway and calling it good enough and continuing to put in the practice and work at it, you go to perfectionism and you re-record the video for a fourth time like I'm doing right now. But at least I'm posting it. You know, at least I'm continuing to record it again and again until I get it right, to where I feel comfortable posting it. At least I'm posting something. When you use when perfectionism paralyzes you, as it did for the vast majority of my life, to the point where you just don't try re-recording it, to the point where you just don't post something. And again, completely outside of the realm of video. I keep talking about video because that's what's relevant to me, but this applies to anything. Maybe you tried talking to a girl and you got embarrassed because you didn't know what to say and you just worded something weird and she got like, I don't know, she turned away. It was like, weirdo. Instead of being, your two options are to be like, oh, that was awful, let's not do that, or to be like, oh, that was awful, let's try again and do better. And by default, I kind of allowed everything to paralyze me for a long time, to the point where I just wouldn't do the things I wanted to do because I wouldn't be happy with the way that I could do them. And I'm still not happy with any of, well, most of the videos that I'm making right now, but I definitely feel like I'm getting better at them. And actually, those tiny little improvements are actually really, really motivating for me to just keep going and to keep getting better, even though I really don't like most of my videos so far. Well, again, it comes that I paused for a minute because I had to reconsider, why am I not liking them? It's because I'm looking at my current videos from my old perspective. If I pause, as I just did, and then reconsider and be like, well, they're not that bad. and it's what I wanted to do right now. And so then it's like, oh, well, these are great. It's crazy how during that pause, my mind just like completely flipped to like, wait, these are great videos. I'm doing the thing that I want to do. And just because I have other things that I want to do later, and I just wish that I was doing those things now because I'm impatient. It's like, come on, keep going. But I'm here right now. I'm not there yet. All right, I'm running out of things to say. I think I'll end it there. So yeah, never allow any excuse to stop you from doing what you want to do and living the life you want to live. Took me way too long to learn that, and I'm still trying to learn it. I still have most days where I sleep in and I just kind of fall into old habits. It takes a lot of effort to break out of that, to try to change your ways and start to actually do the things you want to do and live the life you want to live, and figure it out. Figure out from there. It's a messy process. Life itself is kind of inherently messy and difficult. But of course, that's what makes it worth it. If everything was handed to you, then you wouldn't feel any satisfaction from gaining it. The harder you have to work for something to acquire it or achieve it, the more satisfying it is when you get there. But this is kind of rambling and wandering into other territory. So I'll wrap this up. I'll just say I appreciate you watching. even though I don't think this is something worth watching, but I just gotta remind myself, for someone else, this could be worth watching. I appreciate you watching. If you want to see more, then you can subscribe. And yeah, see, look at right there. I can't even talk right. I just stumble over my own words. Yeah, subscribe for more. Share this with anyone else that might enjoy this or get some sort of value out of this, or realizations out of this. I don't know. It feels... oh, what's the word? It feels pretentious to say that. But if I just like really stop and think, like I said, 10 years ago, this information would have changed my life. And so that's where I say, like, if there's anyone that you know who might benefit from hearing this, then yeah, share it with them. You might change their life. That's fucking weird for me to think. Anyways, alright. Take care.